Hi everyone, welcome to week 8 of Playgroup at Home. I have a special book to read to you today. It's called Wilfred Gordon MacDonald Partridge, and it is written by Mem Fox and illustrated by Julie Vivas. Let's read it together. There was once a small boy called Wilfred Gordon MacDonald Partridge, and what's more, he wasn't very old either. His house was next door to an old people's home, and he knew all the people who lived there. He liked Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. He listened to Mr. Hosking, who told him scary stories. He played with Mr. Tippet, who was crazy about cricket. He ran errands for Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. He admired Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. But his favourite person of all was Miss Nancy Allison Delacourt Cooper, because she had 4 names just as he did. He called her Miss Nancy and told her all his secrets. One day, Wilfred Gordon heard his mother and father talking about Miss Nancy. "Poor old thing," said his mother. "Why is she a poor old thing?" asked Wilfred Gordon. "Because she's lost her memory," said his father. "It isn't surprising," said his mother. "After all, she is 96. "What's a memory?" asked Wilfred Gordon. He was always asking questions. "It is something you remember," said his father. But Wilfred Gordon wanted to know more, so he called on Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something warm, my child, something warm." He called on Mr. Hosking, who told him scary stories. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something from long ago, me lad, something from long ago." He called on Mr. Tippet, who was crazy about cricket. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you cry, my boy, something that makes you cry." He called on Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you laugh, my darling, something that makes you laugh." He called on Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something as precious as gold, young man, something as precious as gold." So, Wilfred Gordon went home again to look for memories for Miss Nancy, because she had lost her own. He looked for the shoebox of shells he had found long ago, last summer, and put them gently in a basket. He found the puppet on strings, which always made everyone laugh, and he put that in the basket too. He remembered with sadness the medal which his grandfather had given him, and he placed it gently next to the shells. Next, he found his football, which was as precious as gold. And last of all, on his way to Miss Nancy's, he went into the hen house and took a fresh, warm egg from under a hen. Then Wilfred Gordon called on Miss Nancy and gave her each thing one by one. "What a dear, strange child to bring me all these wonderful things," thought Miss Nancy. Then she started to remember. She held the warm egg and told Wilfred Gordon about the tiny speckled blue eggs she had once found in a bird's nest in her aunt's garden. She put a shell to her ear and remembered going to the beach by tram long ago and how hot she had felt in her button-up boots. She touched the medal and talked sadly of the big brother she had loved, who had gone to the war and never returned. She smiled at the puppet on strings and remembered the one she had shown to her sister and how she had laughed with a mouth full of porridge. She bounced the football to Wilfred Gordon and remembered the day she had met him and all the secrets they had told. And the two of them smiled and smiled, because Miss Nancy's memory had been found again by a small boy who wasn't very old either. That's a beautiful book, isn't it? Maybe you know some people in your life who are a bit old. Maybe your grandparents or maybe even your great-grandparents. Sometimes it's hard to be very old, isn't it? And people who are very old need lots of extra kindness. One of our challenges for you this week in Playgroup is to think of something very, very kind that you can do for someone else. Maybe you could draw them a picture or make them a card. Maybe you could bake some cookies with your mum or dad and take them to someone to help cheer them up. It's important for us to do kind things for others, and that's just what Wilfred Gordon did in the book, isn't it? We would love to hear about the kind things that you might like to do this week, and if you want to send us pictures of what you do as well on the WhatsApp, we'd love to see. Our craft for this week is a very special box, and we are calling this a memory box. You'll get to make the box and put some stickers on it, and what we would love for you to do is to find some special things, maybe around your house or in your garden, that help you remember special things in your life. And maybe there's some special jewelry that belonged to someone who you cared about, maybe some rocks or some leaves or anything that's special to you that you want to put in your box that helps you remember happy times. We're going to sing some songs together now, and one of the songs we're going to sing in just a minute is about how much we love our grandparents. And grandparents can be a little bit old sometimes, can't they? And they need lots of extra kindness, so we're going to sing a special song about grandparents together now. That was a lovely book, wasn't it, Rosemary?
I love that book. Yeah, it's very special.
Have you been missing your grandkids, Rosemary?
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's hard. It's great. We can do Zoom calls and FaceTime.
Yeah.
But it's not quite the same as having a hug.
That's right. I think lots of kids maybe have been missing their grandparents this year, and lots of grandparents have been missing the kids as well. I think we should sing a song about how much we love our grandma and our grandpa.
Okay.
And maybe this is a song you might like to sing and record a video and then send it to your grandma and your grandpa. Let's sing it together. I love Grandma, I love Grandma, yes I do, yes I do. All I want to say is have a lovely day. I love you, I love you. Let's sing it about Grandpa now, ready?
Okay.
I love Grandpa, I love Grandpa, yes I do, yes I do. All I want to say is have a lovely day. I love you, I love you. You know, I think your grandparents would love it if you recorded that yourself singing that song and sent it to them. Some people call their grandparents grandma and grandpa. Sometimes there are other names. What do your grandkids call you, Rosemary?
I'm Nima, and Daryl is Dapa.
My kids call their grandparents Nana and Grandpa and Babu and Granny.
Yeah.
And maybe you've got a different name for your grandparents, or maybe you don't get to see your grandparents or they're not around anymore, but you have a very special older friend that you might like to sing this song for. You could put their name in the song and record a video of yourself singing it. That would be lovely,
It would be very special.
Yeah, would be very special. All right, let's sing another song about two fine grandpas that met in the lane. Are you ready to do your grandpa voice? Here we go. You ready? Two fine grandpas met in a lane, bowed most politely, bowed once again. How do you do? How do you do? How do you do again? What about two fine grandmas? Ready? Two fine grandmas met in a lane, bowed most politely, bowed once again. How do you do? How do you do? How do you do again? What about two fine children? It's a good idea. Ready? Two fine children met in a lane, bowed most politely, bowed once again. How do you do? How do you do? How do you do again? Let's do one more. Let's do two fine babies.
Maybe we'll use a little.
Yeah, because they're my favourite. Ready? Two fine babies met in a lane. baby bow.
Or actually say.
I would love to see a baby bow and say, how do you do?
That would be wonderful.
We're going to sing one more song, and we're going to sing a very special song about teapots, because lots of grandparents that I know really like to drink cups of tea.
I love tea.
I like to drink cups of tea too. I'm not a grandma, but we're going to sing a song about a teapot. So can you become a little teapot with your handle and your spout? Are you ready? Here we go. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, then I shout. Ooh, tip me over, pour me out. Oh, that's a good one. Let's do that again. Ready?
I'm going to
Teapots.
turn it around this way.
Go. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, then I shout. Tip me over, pour me out. Good job,
love a cup
teapot.
of tea.
Maybe you could have a tea party at your house today.
That would be so fun.
Maybe with your mum and dad, or maybe even with your grandparents sometime soon.
Could do it over Zoom.
You could.
Or FaceTime.
It's time for our goodbye song now. Everybody ready? Get your hands out, ready to clap. Well, we can clap our hands and we can stomp our feet and we can move our bodies to the happy beat.